In example 4, we need to identify the x and y intercepts, maximum and minimum values, and then state the domain and range of the function. So quite a few things, but let's just walk through it. So let's worry about the x-intercept first. That's right here at -6, 0. The y-intercept will be here at 0, 2, simply where the graph crosses the y-axis. Now we need to do any maximum or minimum values. There is no minimum or maximum here. The left graph goes to -infinity and the right graph goes up to infinity. There's no wobbling here, there's no peaks or valleys. So no min or max. The domain and range. This is a straight line, so the domain will be all x values from -infinity to infinity. And similarly, the range will be any real number. This left side goes down to infinity and this right side goes up to positive infinity. With the graph on the right hand side, there is no x-intercept, so no x-intercept, but the y-intercept appears to be 3, so that'll be 0, 3. There really is no min or max here again. The domain, same thing as the previous one, it's a straight line. So that's -infinity. Less than x is less than infinity. Any number of x will work. -4 has a point, -1 has a point, a million would have a point here too. The range is a little bit more interesting. Notice that this is a straight line, but it's horizontal. And so there's only one value, one possible value of y. If you look at all these points have the same y value, and that's 3. So we're going to state that as y is equal to 3. We have a few more examples to do. So if we take a look, open dots mean the point is not included. And closed dots mean the point is included. Let's see if we can figure out the x-intercept here for this one. It appears that there's 2 of them. 0, 0 is 1. And this point's just a little bigger than 3. So we'll make it maybe 3.2. Kind of tough to tell on a graph. That's one of the drawbacks of a graph. It's hard to tell exactly where that point is. The y-intercept is at 0, 0, right here. Now we want to do, let's see, minimum and maximum. I think we have a maximum value right here at 4, 3. It's not the top of a peak, but the graph does kind of stop here, and it's debatable whether you should list this or not if we're talking about a maximum, but I think we will. So this will be a max at 4, 3. The minimum value occurs here at 2, -4, so there's a min at 2, -4. The domain for this, we'll try to write that up here, from -5 to 4, right here. And we want to include that point, and include this point. The range will be from -4 to -3. And we want to include each one of these. With the right-hand graph, this left side has an arrowhead. It keeps on going down, so we'll need to be aware of that. We want to look at the x-intercepts first. Write those up here maybe. Try to find some space. -2, 0 is one of them. 1, 0 is another one. And 2, 0 is another one. For the y-intercepts, or the y-intercept, that's right here at 0, 4. We now want to take a look at any minimums or maximums. Looks like we have a maximum right here at -1, 6. And then we have a minimum right here, and this value would be -1. So this looks like to be about let's see, a min at -1, oops, that's the y value, sorry, should be 1.5 or 1.5 comma -1. The domain for this one, -infinity. This edge of this graph, although it looks like it goes straight down, it actually continues to the left a little bit. And then we want to go to 3 here. The range is going to be -infinity up to 10, this value right here, and including 10. And just a couple graphs left to go. So our x-intercepts, not here, just -2, 0. Remember, this doesn't include, this point isn't included. And then our y-intercept is going to be down here at 0, -4. That's also the minimum, so there's a minimum at 0, -4. Domain and range for this. The domain would be from -3, less than, we don't want an equal to sign, and then 2. And again, that's an open circle, so we don't want the equal to sign. The range will be from -4 up to but not including 5. We want to include this point, it's a point in the graph. The next one, it looks like the value of x could be anything, even -2. At -2 the function is defined, it's -1. And then anything past -2 the function is going to be 2. So the domain for this one will be, -infinity, less than x, less than infinity. And you'll notice I'm kind of going backwards on this one. It doesn't matter really which way you do it. And then the range, y is equal to -1 or 2. You could state it like that if you'd like. For minimums or maximums, there really isn't any. I mean, you could call maybe -1 a minimum here, but there's no hills or valleys. So no min max. Likewise, you could say that 2 is a maximum value of the graph, but you know, there's no hill here or valley. And then we can do our x-intercepts. So there's no x-intercept. And then our y-intercept would be right here at 0, 2. So our y-intercept is at 0, 2.